We don't have nearly enough time to go as far as I'd like to with you. But very quickly, I was asking you about his preparation, his intellectual development. Um, he was a scholar. Outside of the campus environment, he did a lot of reading. And he also was a scholar about what was going on around the world. He made reference to it in the interview.
Right. And, you know, he and SNCC, they were the first ones to call for freeing Nelson Mandela. And we remember when we mentioned Nelson Mandela in public, you know, it was like, shh, you know, oh, and the way people reacted. So he was always in the forefront of raising issues that were important, you know, internationally and nationally. And that is why I think he was considered so much of a threat, because he could see through so many things. And he would speak up about the issues without being afraid. And this is this is how he is. And right now, you know, he'll always be an imam. He'll always be a leader. He'll always be my imam. And we would listen to him on during Juma on Friday, give khutbahs. And his khutbahs dealt not only with things that were happening locally or regionally or nationally, but internationally also.
Currently.
Currently.
What does he have to say about what's going on today in the hood?
Well, you know, he has always been very active in trying to make a difference with the youth.
In what way now?
In the 1990s, and even now, you know, he reaches out to youth not only in the prison, but he was involved with so many of the initiatives in getting an end to gang violence, to the street organizations, trying to get them to come up with a truth so they'll stop killing each other and focus on improving the quality of life for not only African Americans, but for people in general. And this is what, you know, he was about. He listens to the rap music. I mean, he knows it all. He got his name rap.
I was going to ask you.
Because of his ability to rap, and he maintains that they changed the music from rap music to hip hop so they wouldn't have to say his name. So he is very involved with, you know, with just the issues and the concerns of youth, and he has always made a very, very good connection with the youth.
What would you say to young people as far as their obligations to your husband? Of course, they can't realize that without knowing the extent of his contributions, right?
And not only his contribution, but I think it's incumbent upon the youth to just to investigate what has happened and why they are where they are. You know, a lot of the youth are very comfortable because they can sit in the front of a bus. They could go to a counter and eat food. They don't have to, they can go into a department store. And these were things that my husband was trying to do, and which they did very well, SNCC in the South, in terms of voting. I mean, they don't even realize that African Americans were not allowed to vote. And it's not that long ago. We're not talking about hundreds of years.
He's not here to say it directly, but as his wife, is there anything that you would say to today's young people in his behalf?
Right. Well, we would really like to see them get involved with talking with each other, to live a better life, a quality of quality, to deal with all domestic violence. I mean, you know, we have to stop that in all communities, with all age groups. And so we really need the youth to be soldiers, and soldiers for change.
Is he upset about what's going on in the neighborhoods now among young people, that there are more in jail than in college and stuff like that?
Well, you know, when he moved to Atlanta, he was able to get a community cleaned up. We cleaned up the neighborhood where we were, so the drive-bys could stop and that our children could be safe. And I think he would encourage the youth to continue to just be politicize. You know, they're not, they're just thinking about shopping instead of thinking about helping the seniors, helping those who are homeless. There are issues that we need to really get the youth to start working on.
That he's talking
and
about.
continue. Right, absolutely. This is what he's been about all these years.
Do you differentiate between the sexes? Is there more of a commitment that, or a different kind of commitment that you would extend in responsibility to women, young women, as opposed to young men?
Well, you know, I think women, it's what I did when I married him. I made sure that my household was a peaceful household for him to come home to and for my children to be in. My children didn't have to worry about seeing any domestic violence. We were, you know, we were without trauma, without the drama. And if you set up a situation like that, then your children will be that way, and then we'll have generations of people who are at peace.
And on that note, we must end. And so I say thank you, and also to your husband. Pass it on. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us.
Share your thoughts of what you've seen. Let us know what you think about this week's Like It Is with Gil Noble. Log on to www.likeitis.7online.com.